Hello, everybody. I'm coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. It is the 4th of July. It's my son's 13th birthday and also Independence Day here. So happy 4th, everybody. So I've recently returned from Ghana. I arrived on July 1st. I returned to Atlanta on July 1st. I was in Ghana for just about 2 weeks. And that was mostly because I had some things to do with regards to the exterior of my house, mainly just to spruce up the place and make it nicer because I have decided that I will Airbnb my house. And so there's some work that needs to be done, and I had to create like a priority list and go through it that way, right? So part of the things I wanted to prioritize were some cracks in my walls and my floors, the compound, the outside, the exterior. I also do have some water damage, but I will explain exactly what's going on and what you're looking at right now. Let me say that the coconut that you saw earlier, I planted them 2 years ago. I was not expecting fruits on my coconut trees yet. And so that was such a pleasant surprise to have some fruits after 10 months of returning. And to drink coconut from my own fruit was an amazing experience. Literally, I had friends come over just so we can grab some coconut and split and drink it and, eat the fruit inside and all that stuff. That was such an amazing feeling. So I'm walking around the house just assessing some of the damage that has occurred. If you remember, I did share that my house is not painted. It just had a protective coat, over it. And it's not painted on purpose because one, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do regular paint. I also know that there's water in the ground, and I could see some water damage both on the outside and on the inside of the building. So my thought process had been to not finally or fully paint it yet. It was livable. The inside was fine. It was fully painted. I did not do a washable paint. I did a white paint. If you've seen part of my old videos, you would see that I've painted probably twice or three times already on the interior, which is also crazy to me, but I'm looking to find more permanent solutions to that. So this particular wall that you're looking at was the original. Those of you who know, we've had the land for over 24 years in our family. And so part of what you're seeing is the original walls that I put around the property to fence it, to protect it. And then also a lousy job that was done when the compound was compacted and floated. Apparently the wrong sand was used in mixing the concrete for the float on the compound. If you remember, those of you who followed me for a while, I did that temporary float on the compound because the plan was not to live in Ghana yet, but because the house was livable, I decided to do some temporary things to it to make it accommodate us. This is the wall that is one of the part of the original wall that has cracked, and so we had to reinforce it and put some mesh in there. And you can see where the float is separating from the wall. There's been recent really strong winds, tornado-like type winds and rains. And also right behind that wall, they're doing the construction of the roads at my place. And so there's a gutter right behind that wall, and you will see that in the video as we go. So knowing that the road construction is going to happen, it was down the line to happen, and all the dust and things that gets accumulated and the potential impact on the exterior of my building, I have intentionally neglected it until I kind of have an idea when all of that around me can be completed, so that when I do the outside beautification, it would last a little bit longer. So it was intentional, and I didn't have all the capital up front to get that done, to allow us to have lived in there for 2 years. Again, the plan was to go to Ghana for a few months for a mental health break, but we ended up staying for 2 years, which I'm very, very grateful for. So if you watch my videos, you will know that I've always emphasized on how grateful I am. It's such a dream come true to have been able to spend 2 years with my kids in Ghana, living in this house. But yeah, a lot of the work that was done on my house was done in my absence. Some of it while I was there, but the quality of material and the quality of work has not been up to the standards that I had hoped that it would be. So I've been doing a lot of correction. So as I mentioned, the sand that was used for the float to temporarily cover the ground so that we're not bringing a lot of dirt and mud in while we live there, that was not done properly. And according to the person who came to look at it, the professional, according to them, not the right sand was used either. So all of these cracks, meaning that whatever mixture that was done is not bonding with whatever was there before. And because the compacting was poorly done from the explanation I've received, part of that is why the float is separating from the ground. Now, my main concern was to have an engineer look at the structure to make sure that the integrity of the structure has not been compromised, just to make sure that with the strong winds and the tornado type weather that we are getting in the raining season in Ghana, that is not going to impact the structure itself. And so I brought in a few people to come and have a look at what the issues are. I've received quotes, and some of the work was done while I was there. So as you watch the video, you will see me assessing the issues on my own. I received videos and pictures of it, but they didn't tell the right story. I wanted to be physically in Ghana to take an assessment of the issues myself, and then have it taken care of, take care of what I can take care of within that 2 weeks of being at home. So my purpose of going to Ghana was one, to take a vacation while my kids were away with their dad, and so that I can recoup from, work a little bit, do some rest and relaxation while some of the work is being done at the home. This month, God willing, these doors will be changed. Majority of the exterior that's gone bad, God willing, those will be changed this month. And then in the next couple of months, I've received several quotes for graffiato. So I will be using the graffiato for the fence wall and the exterior of my house. And I've also received a quote for washable paint on the inside to completely redo or beautify the structure. The window moldings, I found someone who will be able to redo the moldings in the areas where it did not bond with the structure. They would redo that, and it will be painted differently so that it stands out. Whoever I had living there temporarily had drilled holes in certain parts of the building and had attached TV cables and a whole bunch of stuff that legally they weren't allowed to do, because my lawyer wrote an agreement on the terms of which I was permitting them to occupy the space to take care of it for me. Unfortunately, within 3 months of me allowing them to live there, I saw too many red flags. I had to terminate the agreement immediately, because if I had allowed them to stay that 12 months to watch my property for me for free, they would have cost me more damages, and it would have cost me more money to repair. I already have a lot of damages in the 3 months that they were there. I mean, people just don't care about your personal property. Even though you sort of are giving them an opportunity to stay somewhere for free and care for your property for you, it's not their blood, sweat, and tears. So they misuse things and they mishandle things. If I was permitted to live in someone's house, I will not drill through their brick walls to try to hang AC where I want to or where I prefer to, when there's already an outlet created purposely for that, A lot of my things were taken. But these are people that are not strangers. At least I thought I had gotten to know them and their family. And I thought that these young folks, this will be an opportunity for them to save money so they can go into their own spaces eventually. That was the thinking. Fortunately, that was not their thinking. That was mine, but not theirs. So they did what they wanted. So here, work had started. So we had to chip away the cracks and the damages and reapply concrete and stuff to hold the old walls together with the new walls. So the workers went around and they chiseled and scraped and opened up the cracks a little bit more and inserted metal, metal mesh to sort of hold it together, and applied concrete. So while I deal with other things, I go back and forth to check out what work has been done. And the before, it looks messy, it looks crazy, but it looks like something that is worse than what it was before. However, when they were done, I was pleasantly surprised. Also, one of the things that was causing the problems were the pipes that were protruding out of my walls from the hidden roof. So the construction of the hidden roof and the piping and the plumbing and all that, if you're not scheduling these things accordingly, they can be done haphazardly. I remember purposely scheduling people while I was away when the construction was happening for the plumber to be able to hide as many pipes and wires, and the electrician as well, in the walls so that it's not necessarily exposed. Unfortunately, due to scheduling, a mason might be there, but the electrician or the plumber may not be there, and they'll do their work anyway and leave until when the plumber comes, they're left with only one option: to stick out those pipes. So when it rains, those pipes from the water from my hidden roof, it comes down hard. And so you would see where my walls were black, that part of it was, the water coming from the roof, from the hidden roof, that is splashing and hitting that wall in that direction. So you would see in the end that I've had a plumber come and redone the piping and brought it down. And the pipe that you saw outside at the gutter area, all of that has been reconnected to the gutter that had been created by the city for the road. They are seriously working on our roads. They have the machines out there working. I took a walk in the neighborhood just to refamiliarize myself with the changes that has happened in the last 10 months. And surprisingly, there's a lot going on as far as construction and also with the roads being done. I mean, it is attracting a little more attention to the area. So folks that have left their land untouched are now starting to build. And so I was pretty pleased with the progress the Assembly is making in our area to make sure that the access roads were paved and tarred and conducive. Because if I show you some videos from last year or the year before, we used to sit at the main entrance in the car waiting for the water to pass before we can cross. I mean, I was traumatized by the raining season. And so going to Ghana in June this year, I was in a complete panic to the point that I booked an Airbnb for 5 out of the 12 days that I was in Ghana, because I was afraid that I may be stuck and I wouldn't be able to come to my house because of the flooding. But the road work has improved it tremendously, where it was not even a problem anymore. And so I'm hoping they will continue to put the same amount of effort into fixing the roads. And with that, it would reduce the amount of dust that hits our buildings. That way, when I do the exterior work and the graffiato and all that, my home will remain beautiful. You know, the aim is to make it presentable. The aim is to make it livable. And I think with the road work that is being done, it's definitely going to improve the outlook of the place. So this is the turn that goes, there used to be, you weren't able to connect freely like that from this point to my house, but they've done the gutters and they're starting to pave it, and it goes right in front of my house now. So literally I'm taking a walk and I can see my home from here. I used to not be able to see that because of just how uneven the road was. This is the main part, the main entry. This is the main gate. The other entry was gate 2, but this is the main entryway. They've done the gutter on one side and they've elevated it. I wonder when they're going to do the other side so they can tar it, right? So these are the 2 roads leading to my place, and they all seem to be going under construction at the moment, which I'm really, really thankful for. So there you have it, part of the reason why I went to Ghana and some of the updates that has happened. There's more to my trip. I will tell you that in the next video. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy 4th. Enjoy yourself.